Hey friends, Bex here. With Valheim's 1.0 and the Deep North on the horizon, and now with just the news of PlayStation also joining the journey in 2026, there's never been a better time to set up your own dedicated server. I'll show you a step-by-step guide on how to set up your very own Valheim server using Bisect Hosting. So you and your pals can basically survive, build, or fight off a bunch of trolls without any downtime. So let's get into it. So basically you need to click the link in the description or in the pinned comment below and it'll take you to the Bisect Hosting website. Click down and then we're basically gonna scroll down, and as you can see, Valheim is here. Now it's a great breakdown. It gives you a lot of different options from the get-go. So Bisect work in RAM instead of slots, which I actually do prefer and I think it's better. So as you can see, here is Bronze Sword. It gives us 2 GB of RAM and it's great for 1 to 4 players. We have the Iron Sword, it's 6 GB of RAM and it's good for 5 to 8 players. And then obviously we have like the Black Metal Sword, it's for the Ultimate, it's 12 GB, great for all uses. As you can see also here, we can either do monthly, quarterly, which changes the price, and then we do semi-annually and then annually. So you can click on these and then see the breakdown. Obviously I'm in Great British Pounds, but if you're in dollars, this will reflect that. Also, if you're looking to do some mods and you're not really sure on what kind of server to get, I suggest clicking here and then basically it'll ask you how many players and then it'll ask you how many mods do you expect to be on the server at once. Now, if you do want a full breakdown on how to put mods on your Valheim server, please let me know in the comments and I will gladly give that to you. But for now, we're just going to go back and we're going to go with only just the 1 to 4 players. Okay, so we're going to click order now, and as you can see, this is just a breakdown of everything. I'm going to pretend that we're going monthly, and then as you can see here, the server location is in the wrong place. I don't want that. I want it in the United Kingdom. However, they have a bunch of locations that are perfect for you, so just pick whatever you need basically. So I'm going to click UK and then I'm going to continue here. So this is where you apply the Becsters code to get 25% off. Obviously I can't apply this because I've already basically applied it, but you can do it and get 25% off. So just click validate code and it will deduct it here and you'll see the discount. Then you click checkout, and then as you can see, it already has like my address, but if you were creating a new account, you would click this and then you would basically go all the way down and fill this all out. However, I already have an account with Bisect, and so here it is. And then basically it will give you a breakdown on how you want to pay: credit, debit card, PaySafe card, or PayPal. Enter in all your details here, click your terms of service, and then complete order. So once you've completed basically the order, you will need to click panels and you will need to click Starbase. And as you can see, it takes you here. Just FYI, that really confused me. So you need to click on the panels and then click Starbase. I already have some servers at the moment. And then here is the server that we basically bought. So we click here. And then here is the breakdown of everything. Okay, so here you can see I obviously have my IP address. I can start, stop, I can restart. Obviously you can see everything ticking along here. You can obviously update the server if you need to. What I do love is obviously I have Valheim already installed in my Steam library, and basically I can just click here and then what will happen is it comes up with a pop-up on Steam and then basically it will boot your game, connecting you to the server. So it's super easy. Now obviously say we've picked obviously Valheim for ready for 1.0, but say I didn't want Valheim and I was like, you know what, I changed my mind, I want the server for something else for now, and let's just say the Deep North gets delayed for whatever reason. Obviously you can see here that we have loads of games that we can change to. Now it'll actually tell you the gigabytes that we need. So for example, I could change this to an Enshrouded server and it's completely fine. However, if I wanted a DayZ server, I would need more RAM. RAM, basically. So this would be an extra charge, but I do love it that I can just change to kind of whatever game I want as long as I have the RAM. But for now, we won't do that. So here's the console. As you can see, you can just keep track of the server and see what's basically happening. This is really important to know. And then you obviously have your files if you did want to add anything. Now, this is really important because this is basically all your details. So you have your server password, which is here. So for now, this is really important for the crossplay. Obviously, it only has the Microsoft Valheim version, but you would click this, it's ticked it, and then it says here that it can be found. It will need a code. So people who are joining through Microsoft will need a code, which can be found in the server console here on the left. Obviously naming things like your world name, the Steam beta branch, which is really important. And then we have some other details that you might need. I would always keep this on, the auto update personally. I think it's really important for your server. And then obviously you can have it as a public server, or you can disable this and your server name. So Bisect have a lot of different options, which is fantastic. They have things like the death penalty modifier. They have like the portals, raids, you know, do you want none? Do you want a little bit less? Do you want more? They have things like the combat, your resources, which I think would be very handy if you're trying not to grind, or maybe you want a really hardcore server. As you can see, literally there are so many things for Valheim that they have. They even have the no map. Oh, I would love to do a run like that. But yeah, basically they have all the things that you would need in Valheim that you can add on or not. Now mods, I'm not going to go into for this basically video, but if you did want a list of the mods and how they work and so on, please let me know in the comments and I will do so. One important thing to know is backups. So as you can see, one thing that's really important to do is basically make sure you do backups of your server, which you can do here. Users, I've gone through this with my Voyagers of Nera server. However, if you're running a real community server and you need someone else to have the commands, you can add a sub user. You would obviously enter their user email that they signed up with Bisect here. As you can see here, they get a lot of different permissions, but it is perfect if you kind of wanted them to basically stop the server or restart if they needed to, because there were a bunch of people on and it just needed to be pushed manually. So the activity log basically just lists everything that's happening. So if you've got a bunch of people making changes or you want to know what's happening, as you can see, this is what we've been doing today on this video, and it even shows that I like viewed things, and it gives obviously user ID, which I've blurred here because obviously it has my name. And that's how you set up your very own Valheim server. Pretty easy, to be honest. And I love the customization that Bisect give for all the different options for your Valheim server. Make sure you use my link down below and use the code Becsters for 25% off your first server. Well, until next time, friends. Bye!